do you know how to say queso fresco in English? So for our friends out there?
Queso Fresco.
Today we have our special guest, Mama Tex, joining us, and we're gonna be cooking up tortillas, queso fresco, and some frijoles especiales. And in this video, we're gonna share with y'all step by step how to make each of these in your own home. Now, if you're watching this video, chances are you grew up eating this perfect trio of deliciousness. And that's because this is one of the most accessible, affordable, and easiest recipes to put together quick for you and your family and friends to enjoy. And if you didn't grow up enjoying these recipes, don't worry, I'm gonna show you step by step, and I guarantee you this will be one of your go-to meals going forward. So along the way, Mama Tex will also share a few of her stories about growing up with these recipes. Vámonos. All right, first thing we're gonna do is remove the lid. Next, we're gonna go ahead and get this pot fired up. I've got my little stove on. We've got it on a very low setting. And we're gonna use a gallon of milk to get this party started. You want to bring the milk up nice and slow. You want low heat and you want to stir it, because if you get too much heat too fast and you're not stirring, you might burn the bottom of the pan with some of your milk, and it's going to add an acrid or a sour, ugly taste to your milk. And you don't want that. You want that queso fresco to taste like queso fresco. I'm just kidding.
Queso.
Queso. Okay. Well, you're the one that showed me that. Now, Mom, I remember you telling us some stories about when you first got married to my dad and you moved out to the ranch. My mom was a city slicker, by the way.
I tasted the queso fresco there, but then I saw my mother-in-law making it. She started with the milk, but it was fresh goat's milk. Because they had goats, yeah.
Okay.
And she would milk them, but she would put it on the stove. She would buy that particular liquid and put it in the milk. And that particular liquid would cause the milk to coagulate, something like that. I don't know how long she cooked it, but after a while she would let it rest. And then she had some little molds like that, and she would line them. She wouldn't make one or two or three. It was like a plate full like that. And she would take it to the store and sell them all. They would give her 25 cents for each one.
25 cents per cheese.
Yeah.
Handmade, homemade, fresh goat milk cheese.
Yes. They would make egg with it. They would kind of fry it a little bit. That was delicious.
So that's an interesting story, Mom. So you grew to love that queso, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to share with you, you said the abuela Leandra put some kind of liquid in there.
Yes.
But you didn't know what it was?
No.
You still don't know?
No, I still don't know.
Can y'all believe that? I'm going to share with you what that is, and I'm going to let you measure it out for us. We need 3/4 of a cup of vinegar.
Okay.
So yes, that is another thing. People make the queso fresco. You can use lemon juice or vinegar. Whoa. Right about there.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it. Perfect. Okay. So you can use vinegar or you can use lemon juice. We've got 2/3 of a cup of vinegar, 1 gallon of milk here. We're gonna use some flaked sea salt here. We're gonna use a tablespoon in the queso after we separate the curds and the whey. So we're gonna continue to do this, and once it hits 170, 75 degrees, we're gonna turn it off the heat, put the pot on the side, and just kind of let it cool off for a little while before we separate the whey and the curds.
Hey, Fito,
Yes, ma'am.
how about I make corn tortillas and to go with the cheese, so we can eat with the cheese?
I have some store-bought corn tortillas.
No, I can make them. My mother-in-law also used to make corn tortillas. She would grind the corn on the metate. And we were all standing around the table looking at her, and everybody would want to grab the tortillas out of the comal and roll it up with butter or cheese, whichever was there. I had great memories when I got married, enjoying queso fresco and different kinds of food, because, I mean, they did everything from scratch. My mom and dad would cook all the time.
They didn't show you how to cook either?
No, your father said when we got married that I didn't even know how to boil water.
All right, friends, it's been a pretty solid 30 minutes. I brought the temperature up really slow. Remember, my milk was almost ice cold when I brought it out here. Mom's gonna add a little bit of vinegar, a little at a time, while I continue to stir. Un chorrito nomás. Ahí se va, ahí se va. You can get it up to 175, 180. You know, some people say 190, but 170, 75, all the research I did, that's more than enough. So that was 2/3 of a cup of vinegar. You can tell right away how those curds are starting to form. I'll be turning it off in just about 30 more seconds.
It's already like...
Yeah, you can see the curdles coming up, the whey starting to separate. I think it's time to turn it off. When you do this and you bring it up slow, you want to make sure that you have a heavy bottom pan. If you have a real thin bottom pan, you're a lot more likely to burn it. So we just want to go ahead and let it come up slow, let it come down slow as well. All right, we're gonna let it set for a little while. I'm going to get it off of here and onto a little hot pad. I'm gonna lay this right here. I'm gonna get my pot. Ooh, it's hot. Right over here. Now it's time to let it rest. We're gonna let it rest for about 30 minutes just to let the temperature come down, let the curds in the whey separate and build. Mom, so how much masa are we gonna use to get started here?
1 cup.
1 cup? Okay.
To the rim.
Remember, if you overdo it a little bit more than a cup, you can always add more water.
Yes.
I like to make sure that it's packed down too when I make the tortillas. Now, the water, is it ice cold right out of the refrigerator?
No, it's warm. It's supposed to be warm.
It needs to be a little bit warm,
Yes.
not hot, not boiling, not like as hot as you can stand it. Just, basically warm water. And that's a 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt that we're using there.
Yes, I like to put salt. Not everybody does, but I do.
Okay.
I like to incorporate it a little bit at a time because that gives me more room to mix it. I think I need a little bit more. No.
Oh, more
masa.
water?
More masa.
Really? All right, Mom thinks she needs a little more masa.
Very little.
I think she needs more water, but let's see
No.
what's up. You say when.
Okay, wait.
No, you didn't say when.
Okay, when?
My experience is always like it takes a little while for the masa to absorb all that water. So you gotta knead it and knead it and knead it for a couple of minutes at least, and then allow that water to soak into the masa. Remember, it's corn,
I need a little
so it
bit.
absorbs water.
I need a little bit more.
More, really? Okay,
I guess it's the little bit more that was missing in the cup.
okay, if you say so.
My mom always used to tell me with flour tortillas, because she used to make flour tortillas, and she always used to tell me, it needs to be clean. The bowl needs to be clean on the sides, and then it's ready.
So there's a little technique and art to that. What I've seen a lot of people online, there's 2 things. Number one, it needs to not stick to your hand anymore, which is basically the same concept.
Yeah.
And the other is when you make the little ball, you squeeze it and it doesn't crack.
I'm gonna rest it for a little while, for about 15 to 20 minutes with a wet paper towel.
Cover it good, moist paper towels. You don't want it to dry out with the air, with the environment around you. You want it to stay nice and moist. So I've got a pan here, I've got a colander, and I have a strainer. And now we're also going to use a cheesecloth. Now, by the way, you can always keep the liquid. It has a lot of whey in it. And when I was a young man and working out at the gym, all the bodybuilders, the big thing, and it probably still is today, the big thing is whey protein. Fill us in the comments below. Is whey protein still the thing to build big, badass muscles? All right, we're gonna get this whey, we're gonna get all of this out of here.
Hey, that gallon makes a lot.
I wouldn't say a lot, but it's a pretty good amount. Kind of what you buy at the store, more or less.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna take the cheesecloth, fold it up, squeeze it all together. I'm gonna twist this off like here and just express or squeeze out as much of that liquid as I can. Some people prefer to just let it set there over the colander and just let it drain slowly. This is one way to kind of speed up the process. All right, now we're gonna get this queso and I'm gonna dump it into this bowl here so we can finish our process. I'm gonna take a tablespoon, I'm gonna start with about 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt, and I'm gonna sprinkle that in here. Look how it breaks up all here. It's a little bit less than a tablespoon. So we're just gonna mix it all up, make sure that we have all the salt blended in good with the cheese.
When the milk is cooking, you can't put the salt in there?
Yeah, you could do it a couple of different ways, I'm sure. I researched a pretty good bit, and pretty much everybody recommended putting the salt into the cheese after you express the water.
Okay. You're not gonna taste it to see if it's how the salty or not
You
salty?
can, that's a good idea. That's good.
It's good. Very good.
That's good. We're gonna put this back into our cheesecloth so we can kind of get it all pressed down and make a nice little round cheese. All right, I think we got all the water that we needed to get out of here. Have a pretty nice little cheese ball here. And so I'm gonna press this queso down. I'm gonna make a nice round queso here. And so you wanna make sure you press it down firmly so it gets nice and tight. You can use any dish. It doesn't have to be round, but that's just kind of like the traditional thing. So we're gonna make a pretty little round queso out of a bowl. And I think I'm gonna just lay that cheesecloth right over the top here, fold it over and take it to my refrigerator. So I'm pressing it down into the bowl and I'm thinking like it feels really firm. So I was just kind of afraid it might not pop out whenever I'm ready to pull it out of the refrigerator. So I went ahead and pulled it back out, put it back into the cheesecloth, and I'm repressing it down, and I'm gonna flip it over onto another bowl and then cover it up, put it into the refrigerator. I just feel like that's a safer bet. So Mom has an idea. We're gonna put the plate here, but then you gotta open it up like this, of course. I want it to be nice and firm, so we're gonna flip it over. And hopefully,
There you go.
bingo.
Woo.
Thank you, Mama Tex. There we go. There we go.
I still have some good points.
She's good. Mama Tex is good. So there you have it, friends. It's been about 3 hours. Our queso's been resting in the refrigerator. We're gonna change gears here and throw something special in here as well. Before we get the queso out, we're gonna show you guys another recipe on beans. These are called Frijoles Especiales. This is something kind of local. I heard about these beans over in Brownsville. Frijoles Especiales are very similar to charro beans. And so we're gonna make something that I'm gonna call the Arnitex version of Frijoles Especiales. We made some beef ribs yesterday, and I also have some grilled pork belly here. I have some chorizo cheese sausage here. It's not chorizo, it's a chorizo cheese sausage. So these are gonna be special. Now, Frijoles Especiales generally start out as charro beans, and then what they normally do in most places that I've heard of, they'll cube up some fajitas or some other kind of protein, throw it on the bean, put a little bit of queso fresco and some avocado. So today we're gonna make the Arnitex version of that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of bacon grease that we have reserved from cooking bacon on Sunday mornings and Saturday mornings. All right, our oil is starting to get warm, nice and hot. Okay, so we've got our onions. We're gonna stir fry the onions. We're gonna go ahead and get our garlic in there too. A little piece of meat went in there, it's okay. We won't get mad about it. Especial means special, so these are special beans. And right here, what we're doing today, friends, we have leftover beans, leftover barbecue meats, leftover sausage. The only thing that's fresh today is the onions and the garlic and the tomato. So if you ever make a big pot of bean and you have quite a bit of it left over, this is another way to repurpose it and add some great flavor. Or if you make a fresh pot, this is an amazing way to really impress your family and your friends. Let's go ahead and drop the tomato in there. Sizzle, sizzle. We are sauteing some tomato, onion, and garlic here. All right, our tomato looks like it's cooked down a little bit. Let's get the pork belly in here. You guys know I like to use salt pork right in our beans. We're gonna get the sausage in here. Gonna let that get warm. We're gonna put a little bit of this meat in here. We're gonna reserve a little bit more to top our beans later. So these beans have some juice in there, plenty of water and juice. These beans are cooked. These beans, by the way, we made a couple weeks back. We are testing a new bean spice that's gonna be on the market. You guys are gonna love it. It's super, super good. And that's why we don't have any other ingredients in there, because we were testing the spice. You can see they're already bubbling there. It's starting to boil just a little bit. We're gonna get them nice and warm. Now, y'all tell me in the comments, have you ever heard of Frijoles Especiales? Have you ever heard of these special beans? All right, I think they've boiled long enough, hun. We're going to shut this down because we don't want to totally get rid of our juice here. Let's shut it down. Mama Tex, I think you're up. Tortilla time. Mama Tex is knocking out the very first tortilla here. Let's see if she remembers how to do it. Maybe not.
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous, Mom.
I haven't done it in years.
You have to lay it like that, remember?
You and Terry do them all the time.
Yeah, we've been doing them a lot. Mom hasn't made tortillas in a long time. Now I'm putting a little bit of ghee on my griddle here just to make sure they don't stick. Boom, there you go, Mom. Perfect. Did you see how that moved? That means the heat is perfect. I have a laser thermometer here. We're running about 430 degrees. I've experimented a lot, and somewhere between 4 and 450, 430 seems to be the magic number on this griddle. Now, your stove may be different, your griddle might be different, your plancha might be different, but that seems to be just about right here.
Yeah. I'm getting better.
There you go. See how it slides right away? You want your tortilla to slide right when you lay it down. You don't want it to stick. This one here is done. We're gonna take it out. It puffed a little bit. I'm gonna get it inside of our tortilla warmer here. It's hot. One more flip and this one's gonna be done. All right, this one's done too. I'm gonna take it out. That one's done too, Mom. Looks like it's done.
I got pretty good.
Mom got good pretty quick. She was remembering, kind of like riding a bike, sort of. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a little pie out of here.
Wow.
Check that out.
And it cuts very pretty.
Sure does. All right, I'm gonna take a couple of slices here. And Mom, you were saying that one of the things that you remembered at La Leandra's house was that you would put the queso in the tortilla, a fresh homemade tortilla. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
There you have it, friends. Mom rolled hers up into a taquito. I'll do the same. Cheers.
Cheers.
My mouth was watering.
Very good.
Very good. Queso's good. The tortilla, you know, it's that heirloom corn. Super, super good.
Very good.
Very good combination. You want to try some frijoles especial? All right, let's do it. All right, we have some avocado. How about you crumble up some cheese and put it right there on top, Mom? You can do that while I serve myself some beans here.
Wow. Look at that.
Crumble, crumble. How do you think the cheese turned out? Does it crumble good?
It crumbled pretty good.
Awesome, possum. Cheers, my friends. Cheers, Mom.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Very good, Arnie.
Really good. Certainly a different flavor from charro beans. Now, we didn't make charro beans and then turn them into especiales. We just repurposed some things we had already cooked. It turned out fantastic. The queso fresco is the star, though. That was so easy to do, right, Mom? Mom, thanks for joining us. We had a great time. Guys, don't forget, you can order my cookbook wherever books are sold. And I just wanted to share this with you guys. There's me and Mama Tex.
See how pretty we look?
Yeah, we're gorgeous. Anyway, it's 104 recipes of Mexican-American cooking, Texas-style barbecue. You can get it anywhere books are sold. Get one for yourself, get one for a family member or a friend or somebody that enjoys cooking. Really great Tex-Mex and Mexican food. Thanks for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Boom!